I think we're live. Are we live? I don't know. It's like it's like waiting for a gig. It's like waiting for showtime, thinking, "Oh no, when's it starting?" I'm not sure if the audio's working now. I'm having to look at my laptop over here to try and make sure the sound is working. So if you could let me know if the sound's working, please do type something. I'm not entirely sure. Sound's working with a long delay. Now, before I start, I have to apologise. I hadn't quite realised the significance of the date, 9/11. I hadn't realised also the fact that the Queen's cortege is arriving in Edinburgh, I think right now. Crazy times, folks, Crazy times. Vincent, Zio, Andrew, thank you, folks, for being here. I won't keep you too long. I say there's plenty of things going on today that I hadn't quite anticipated. So I hope you're all well. The weather in Edinburgh today, bit overcast. My wife's picking some flowers out of the garden to take up to Holyrood Palace later. I think I'm going to go up there or go to St Giles Cathedral, I think it is, later on. So, what's the plan today? Well, I've got my two new guitars. When did they arrive? Monday, I think it was. Unboxed them and put the video up during the week. Now, I have to say, I had to wait. It was like 4 or 5 days sitting looking at this box, going, oh, no, I really want to open it. But I finally did get it open, and the first one, which I can put in my pocket, the Greco SE 450. Really impressed with this. I don't know if you watched the unboxing video. A lot of people did. It's probably my best performing video in a while. Nothing to do to it at all, apart from a lot of cleaning. That was it. I put new strings on, and perfect. Plays really nice. Nice neck shape as well. Very stratty, of course. I mean, I won't be playing anything plugged in today, so that's today's good news. I'm not playing any guitar. I'm just doing some talking. Maybe that's worse news. I don't know. So yes, the 1981 SE 450, very shiny frets. Plays perfect out of the box, and given that 3 months, I think it was, 3 months to travel all the way from Japan, just in that cardboard box. It wasn't in a case or anything, so good to go. And guitar number 2 was. You may hear helicopters flying overhead because of the little cortege coming into town. We're really busy up in Edinburgh today. I think this is 1980. See, I wasn't sure, said in the video, I'm not 100% sure on Yamaha serial numbers, but I think it's 1980. I think these were made, 76 to 79 or something. Hi Dave, how you doing, sir? So, I had a bit of work to do on this. We needed a lot of cleaning. It's got kind of cloudy finishing bits. Now, I've seen this on. I had a Burnley from the same sort of era where the finish had gone a bit cloudy, and I read. I mean, you can't always believe what you read on the internet, but I did read it could be because the humidity in Japan, perhaps when the top layer went on, when the finish went on, when the lacquer went on, perhaps the finish underneath hadn't quite dried properly, so it was kind of cloudy. So there's a bit of cloudiness on this. Maybe you can't catch that. What surprised me about it was I measured the pickups. Pickups were only 7.1k, which I was really surprised about. I thought these guitars had much higher output humbuckers. They sound really good, but I'm just surprised they were quite low. PAF, what's a PAF? 7.4 or something like that. But it's nice. It's got a nice neck shape. I said in the unboxing video I had a Yamaha Super Fighter, which had a much smaller neck than this, much not as thick, and the shoulders on that were quite sharp. I mean, the fret ends weren't sharp. The shoulder was quite sharp. But this is really nice. A strange thing, I'm going to have to check my mate Mike, because he's got one of these. I don't know if you'll see this, it'll come across in the camera, but the bridge, the G string and the B string saddles are like way lower than the rest, and there's no way of adjusting those individual saddles. Crazy. So the action is a bit higher than what I would have liked. I had to take a bit off some of the frets up here to get to play properly, but it's a nice playing and nice sounding guitar. Into the Valley, classic, Scottish classic there. I didn't play it very well, so my sincere apologies to Mr. Stuart Adamson there. So yes, both guitars, pleased with that. It's always a worry, you know, travelling all the way from the other side of the world just in a cardboard box, as I keep saying, and if they're going to arrive safe. But I've recorded a couple of tunes with the Greco Strat, and I'll do a couple of videos over the next 2 weeks. See, I didn't have to do much there at all, so I mean, there's not a lot of filming involved there. All I did was just change the strings. The intonation was perfect as well, crazily enough. So the Yamaha, a wee bit more work, sounds good humbuckers. So that's the guitars. A drink of coffee. Anybody else got any new guitars? I'll bet David Lewis has bought a new guitar today, probably. So what else is on the cards? Now, strangely enough, I don't really use many effects. Like when I'm playing live, I normally just use the amp distortion. I mean, I do have a line 6, a line 6 M9. Next Japanese order could be, I don't know if my wife's listening. Maybe a couple of months. I'll make sure she's not in. So I use a line 6 M9 sometimes, if I can be bothered carrying it. I mean, it's funny. See, when you've been playing gigs for years and years, you do kind of realise that the only person this is all making a difference to is like you, the player. People in the audience don't really hear all this stuff. So, I mean, I only really take this if I can be bothered carrying it. My number one multi-effects unit is, and I've been using this, like I've played all over Europe with this when I travel to gigs. Like we were playing in Italy, and I've got a story about that. We're playing in Italy next Saturday. All I take is this. That's all I take. Donner Alpha Cruncher, not a Donner Kebab. A Donner Alpha Cruncher, which just has distortion, chorus delay. It's not even like a tap tempo delay. So I mean, that's all. This is all I take to gigs. Mostly this. And I sometimes supplement it for goth gigs. I sometimes take my 80s Maxon FL01 flanger, because you need a bit of flange if you're doing goth. You need chorus, flanger, and delay, some reverb maybe if you're doing goth. So anyway, so my point was I bought more pedals in the last week and traded for more pedals in the last week than I've probably done in the last 10 years. So they are. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of money, but actually, I've said I didn't spend a lot of money. Dave Lewis is just asking, how's my yellow box? This is brilliant. Lagrange. I've almost finished making a video on this. I mean, I watched Pete Thorne's video when this came out, and I don't know why I didn't buy one at the time. I mean, I should have done. But I got this used, and this sounds incredible. I mean, I'm just playing into my Kemper. I think I've just tried it on like a Fender twin setting. Unbelievable, really good. But this was probably cost more than all of the other pedals put together. So that'll be an upcoming video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try some budget pedals into my Kemper, see what it sounds like. Now, I got these for my birthday from my wife and my son. Now, I'll tell you, I'm glad I wasn't doing this live stream yesterday because it's my birthday on Friday. And I probably had more beers than I should have had, so I spent the whole day yesterday lying on the couch feeling sorry for myself. But my wife and my son got me these for my birthday. Quentin James, Crybaby. Yeah, I sometimes take a Crybaby in my 70s covers band because we do some Thin Lizzy and stuff like that. I try my best to be not the worst Brian Robertson in the world. It doesn't always happen, but yeah, Brian Robertson, probably my favourite exponent of the wah-wah pedal. I absolutely love Robbo's playing. So anyway, to the pedals, these are just Amazon pedals, Azor, going to the Azores on holiday. A Leon drive. What's that Australian chap that's on YouTube? Leon, he does his Sensitive Sundays. I was watching him earlier on. He's playing a 1972 Gibson ES335 or something. I'm getting sidetracked. So two Azores. I've got the distortion. Focus. And the Leon drive. I mean, these are not boutique pedals, but it will be interesting. So I have them. I have Harley Benton Ultimate Drive. Now, I guess it's like the sensational Alex Harvey, man. They were so good, they were sensational. I'm thinking this potentially is like the ultimate drive. No other drive will be as good, but that remains to be seen. Then we have this one. A green overdrive pedal. I can only take a guess at what that is. Who's it made by? Can't even remember who's made by. Kayleen Music. So I'm thinking this is some kind of mid-boost. Again, I've never owned a tube screamer in my whole life. My friend bought one when we were about 16, 17, and he had an orange 100-watt head, and it was like super, super clean. And he bought like a original TS 8808, and it sounded horrendous. But to be perfectly fair to everybody concerned at that point in time, I think we were all really bad guitar players. And he plugged it in, and him and I played through this orange head with a really badly set tube screamer with two really amateur guitar players, and it put me off for life. Put me off for life with the tube screamers until I got one of these. The vintage tube overdrive. Interesting fact, in Scotland, if you say somebody's a tube, it means they're not the brightest. And finally, my pedals I have, can't even remember what this is. Oh, a Joyo. Oh, something like that. A Joyo Crunch distortion. So it'll be interesting plugging these into the front end of a Kemper. I mean, it's strange, you know, you're putting I think one of these pedals was £10. I'm putting a £10 pedal into the front of a £2,000 piece of equipment, or however much a Kemper is these days. But it won't be interesting, and I'll also plug them into the front of my blue guitar amp as well. See what it sounds like, and I might even go to the rehearsal room, maybe see how these sound in a live setting, because it's all well and good me just in my spare room plugging these into my Kemper, but you really need to hear them through a big amp. Or maybe take my Zoom, record it in the rehearsal room. So that's some pedal demos coming up. I've got my show notes here. Show notes. Next up is Zen. So I'm not going to keep you long, but I'll just show you. I think I've worked out how to share a screen here. So these are the current things that I'm looking at on Zenmarket. You know, the site where I buy all these Japanese guitars. Now, if my wife is watching, I'm only window shopping. I'm not saying I'm going to buy any of these. So let's have a look. How do I do that? There we go. So, a Fernandez old logo 80 period Stratocaster. It's only got 32 minutes to go. I won't have time to bid on that. A Greco SE600N. It's pretty cool. 1976. 226. Again, I'm not bidding on it. It finishes in an hour and 22 minutes. If anybody sees any of these, please do shout out, and I'll just buy it here now. I'm only joking. I'm liking the one after this, the Yamaha SR450S, which I guess is a lot same sort of price point as the SE450. But I think this one's from maybe 79. So I need to go down these comments. Fender Japan Stratocaster electric guitar junk. It's always a funny one, that, because I think sometimes things are listed as junk just because the person who's selling it doesn't necessarily know much about guitars. So you could get a bargain. I bought the Aria Flying V for £90 auction, and all I said was junk. Now, to be fair, a vast majority of the guitar was junk, pickups didn't work and the controls didn't work and stuff like that. But it was new pickups and everything sounded great. Cool Z. I like the Cool Z Les Pauls that I got. History, which I think again is sort of connected with Cool Z, a history. I like the one pickup Telecasters. A big fan of one pickup Telecasters. An SE500. I don't know if I'm going to buy that because just bought a Greco. Practice with Twisted Nerve on Tuesday, and we're going to Italy on Saturday. So that's just a quick look. There's something I'm really keen on. The Bill Lawrence. I've always fancied getting one of these. Look really cool. Now this one's quite beat up. £206. These are normally £400, £500 guitars, but that's been on my watch list for a few months now, so it's not selling at that price. So these are all the things I'm keeping an eye on. An Edwards SG, a Matsumoku Westminster 420. So yeah, and a couple of effects pedals as well. So there you go. That's what I'm keeping my eye on. Dave Lewis has mentioned Italy. So normally with these European gigs, they're usually on Saturdays. Excuse me. If we're just playing one gig, it'll be on a Saturday. If we're going for like a few, we sometimes go Thursday, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come home Monday. But this particular trip to Milan next Saturday, we're flying on the Saturday. So I just got the itinerary another day. We're not leaving Edinburgh till 5:45 at night, and my understanding is that we're on stage in Milan at 11 o'clock the same night, and it's an EasyJet flight. So it remains to be seen if we're going to make stage time on that one. It's always an adventure with Twisted Nerve. It's always good fun, I've got to say. Always fantastic fun. I think this will be about the fifth time I've been to Italy with Twisted Nerve. Beautiful people there. Everybody's really friendly. The gigs are great. I'm not taking a guitar. The only thing I'm taking is this. So on the itinerary it said the guitar for use as a Fender Telecaster. So I will meet my guitar at soundcheck if we get a soundcheck. I've got a funny feeling if I had to predict this, I think we'll be going straight from the airport, straight on the stage. Somebody will be handing my guitar and I'll just have to hope it's in tune as I go on. So that's it's next Saturday in Milan. It's tight flight times. What can I say? So I'm almost finished. I don't want to keep anybody too long. That's 20 minutes, maybe go half an hour or so. Anybody got any questions, please feel free to ask. Unless you want to know my bank details and my mother's maiden name, something like that. So music. What have I been doing music? I'll tell you what I've been doing for the last, well, to be fair, for the last 40 years. If I can work out how to share this screen. I will share screen, Chrome tab. This site here, I don't know if any of you remember the Friday Rock Show. I love the Friday Rock Show. I mean, every Friday night from 10 till midnight, I'd be my mum and dad's, and I'd be taping the Friday Rock Show. And it was just my favourite year in metal, I think, is 1982. I loved the year. For some reason, I taped every Friday Rock Show that week, that year. And some of the sessions on it were my favourite sessions. So I would check this out. Just search Friday Rock Show Wiki on Google and you'll find this and find people who have put this together. Hi Robbie, how you doing, sir? I think he's in Italy. Are you in Italy? I can't remember. So I would search for this. So these fine guys have uploaded all the shows they could find from about TV, Play That Rock and Roll. That was Rose Tattoo did that. TV, Play That Rock and Roll. So these guys have put up as many of these broadcasts as they could, and it's just incredible. Like in the 1982 one, it's my favourite year because the two sessions the two sessions that I really liked. I loved most of them, but two favourite ones were. Now, don't let the clothes put you off. I'll stop sharing that screen. So you can work out how to do it. To be Chinatown. Now, you may not be familiar with the work of Chinatown, but their Friday Rock Show session was so good. I absolutely loved it. And I remember at the time I started my first website, Dunsey.com, I think 1999. And Danny, the guitar player, got in touch with me, Danny Gwillem. And I had Chinatown bootlegs. So the guitarist from Chinatown, I got an email. Hi, I'm the guitarist from Chinatown, Danny Gwillem. Any chance you could send me some bootlegs? I was like, holy smoke, that's Danny Gwillem from Chinatown. So these are in plastic cases because they're worth so much money these days. This is a good album. It's mostly recorded live. In fact, it is recorded live. And the single's really good as well. But if you go to the Friday Rock Show wiki, and I think their session was the Chinatown one was broadcast on the 25th of June. You can download that and it's absolutely brilliant. And the second one was Alkatrazz. This is the first Alkatrazz album. Not the Graham Bonner band, by the way, not the Graham Bonner band. More sort of traditional 70s rock. This one's more kind of 70s rock from 1981. This is really good. These aren't on Spotify either, but I think someone's uploaded them to YouTube so you can listen to the whole album. It wasn't me that uploaded it, by the way. I'm not breaking any copyright restrictions. And the second one came out in 1982, Radio 5. And they did a session for the Friday Rock Show on 6th of August 1982. And that's my second favourite Friday Rock Show session. Now, I have to say, this album's quite polished. Keyboards and stuff, but the Friday Rock Show session, very rock, really good. So I would check them out. Do check them out. And finally, I've done tons of Joe Perry project covers and lessons and stuff. I've done a few Whitford and Holmes ones as well. And people have always said on some of the videos I do, why don't you do St. Paradise? And I'm going to do some. I mean, a lot of the videos I do, has to be said, they're kind of fly under the radar. I'm not doing I'm not showing you how to play Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden. I'm showing you how to play Derek St. Holmes' band once he left the Ted Nugent band with Denny Carmassi and Rob Grange from Ted Nugent's band on bass. But this is a brilliant album. And a Bernie Tormey t-shirt. This is like classic 70s American rock. Very, very Aerosmith. That's a cross between Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Whitford St. Holmes, obviously. And Derek's voice. I mean, I watched a video recently. Must have been maybe 6 months ago. Derek was playing live. And he still has the voice. I mean, Derek St. Holmes' voice. Brilliant. Now, luckily, when this was re-released, because this wasn't available in CD for decades and decades. Now the CD, they've went to the common sense approach. What people might regard as offensive, they put the offensive cover inside. So I'm going to be doing some of these. I don't imagine they will be my most popular videos, but it's not about being popular. It's about giving the people what they want, and the people want St. Paradise, according to some of the comments I get. What a great album, yeah. The thing is, several folks saying that, when you would think if you're learning things like Aerosmith, you're learning Joe Perry's parts, you're learning Brad's parts, they're difficult, but I mean, I've tried to play these songs a lot over when did this come out? 1980, 81, 82, can't remember. 79. I should make it up as I go along here. I have tried to play these songs, and they're difficult. I'm trying to think what it was like. It was like when I did that Pat Travers song, on the Pat Travers video I did. The individual parts, I could work out how to play them, but to put them all together to make a video without cutting it into 10 different bits so I can restart it 9 different times, These songs are really difficult, and I don't know what it is. Well, it's just because it's difficult, I suppose. So yes, I'm going to be doing something in Paradise. I think they'll go straight into my worst performing videos of all time. But hey, there'll be nobody else doing a St. Paradise guitar cover or tutorial on YouTube anytime soon. That's for sure. And there's George. I meant to say that's what George posted the other day there. Sad news that Colin from Spider died. I mean, Spider would. I think I saw them. I saw them twice. But the first time I saw Spider would have been. I was still living with my mum and dad. I was still living in West Lothian. You know, if you look on a map of Scotland, and you see Edinburgh and you see Glasgow, right, two major cities. It looks like a horror film here. Right in the middle is West Lothian. It's like the Wild West. It literally is like the Wild West. Not a whole lot of things to do. It's former sort of coal mining country, and there's like small towns and stuff like that. And there was this one gig in Bathgate. Bathgate's the main sort of town, West Lothian, apart from Lithgow, which is quite posh. We've got a palace in Lithgow. So Spider played in Bathgate at the Cane Park Hotel on a Saturday evening. It must have been 1981. So we'd have all been, maybe it was 82, we'd all been 15, 16. And we went to see Spider, and we'd heard them on the Friday Rock Show. I think TV played all the time. Which the thing with Spider is it played in D flat, E flat tuning, but how does all the thing go? It was brilliant. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble for saying this because I know they might have got annoyed at the time, but it was like status quo on steroids. It really wasn't. Like, we loved the Quo. I saw Quo at the Glasgow Apollo, and it was like it's like status quo had been refreshed, reinvigorated with new energy. And Spider were brilliant, absolutely incredible. And then I saw them again, was it 82? Remember, I posted that Gillen thing recently. Spider did the Here We Go Rock and Roll. Spider did the Gillen tour, Magic tour, in big theatres, like they played Edinburgh Playhouse with the thing called 2,100 people or something like that. And again, they were brilliant. It's that no nonsense, heads down, 12-bar boogie. The only thing is, if I'm trying to play these in standard tuning, because I think that one's in C, so Sniffer's away down playing a 12-bar here, and he's having to stretch his pinky to there. I mean, I can't do that. I'd have to get somebody else in to put their pinky on that fret, so I can't do it. So I did say to George I would try, no sleep till Bathgate. I did say to George I would try and do a Spider thing, man. Sad, I think he's only 61 as well. You know, well, none of us are getting any younger, folks, that's for sure. So yeah, so maybe a Spider tribute coming up again. I don't think that'll be a particularly great performing video, but you know, there's people who do videos out there who get billions of views, and you know, quite rightly so. They're doing popular stuff, but you know, who wants to be popular? I'd rather do stuff that the kids want. Kids my age, you know. How old am I? 56. So there we go. So I think that's my show notes. I've got Friday Rock Show. George says he jammed with them in the studio, man. That'd have been brilliant. I'd love to do that. I know a while ago, Raven shared one of my videos. John Gallagher shared my video, and they're playing Edinburgh in March, and I'm going to try and go on to soundcheck. Maybe I don't want to say rig rundown because it'll just be some old Scottish guy with his phone going, it's okay if I have a quick look at your amps, Mr. Gallagher. Imagine if you turned up at a gig and they said, what Raven songs, you know, just fancy jamming at soundcheck? I'm like, mind blown. Here's another aside, full of interesting stories. Bernie Tormey, I think it was on this tour, wasn't the farewell tour. I saw Bernie 3 or 4 times at Bannerman's. I mean, it was incredible because we'd seen Bernie with Gillen in big theatres, and then near the sort of the end of his career, he was playing Bannerman's, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It was busy when he played. You know, he was playing venues that he knew would fill. There was no point of doing big venues, but I think it was this tour. I think £150, like a sort of donation, you can make a donation, and you could go up on stage and play a song. And I thought about it for ages. And I got in touch with him, and it was him. Like he answered your email. Oh, hi, Dunsey, blah, blah. And I didn't do it, but two other guys, father and son, at Edinburgh, they got up and they played the what did they play? Little John 2, the easy way. No easy way. They did no easy way. And see, when they did it, I was sitting there going, oh man, I really wish I'd paid 150 quid, and I was sharing a stage with Bernie Tormey, and he sadly passed away a few years later. So, don't have regrets in life, folks. If you get a chance to play on stage with one of your heroes and it's only £150, you'd be crazy not to spend that £150. So there we go. I think that's all the comments. I wasn't do a long one today. Plenty of other things going on in the world at the moment. So yes, lots of distortion pedals. I'm going to try out 2 new guitars, some classic Friday Rock Show stuff. Like, please do that. Please do look at just go into Google and search Friday Rock Show wiki, and then you go into each of the episodes, and then most of them have a link to download the MP3 file of TV on the radio from 19, when did TV start? Late 79 up to 1992, 3 or something like that. That's all I've been listening to for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Although I was listening to Delamitri, I was saying to Dave Lewis, I was listening to Delamitri quite a lot of the weeks there. Mate Keith's out driving Delamitri's tour bus. Keith, the drummer from the Joyriders, is a tour bus driver as well. So listen to Delamitri. But apart from that, for months, and to be, like I said earlier on, to be honest, for the past 40 odd years, I have been listening to the Friday Rock Show. It's a strange thing, you get to an age in life where people send you links to stuff, like, God, here's this new band to check out, and I think, I'm just going to go and listen to Chinatown from the Friday Rock Show in June 1982, because I've only heard it 10 million times and I love it. So there you go. So that's me, folks. Paul Chapman lessons. Castlevania. Okay. With a beer, though. Having it with a beer. Francis, how you doing? I'm just about to leave as well, my friend. Sorry. I'll hang about for another 2 minutes. What was I saying? Paul Chapman lessons. There's maybe some I haven't done. I haven't done the solo in Profession of Violence, which I can almost play. It's only taken me 4 decades, and I can almost play the solo in Professional Violence, which I think most people see that as Paul's sort of, like, if you look at Schenker and there'd be the solo from maybe Only You Can Rock Me is the one thing you would point to as the sort of defining moment of Schenker, although you've got like his guitar solo in Rock Bottom. But I think if you had to say to people not overly familiar with the work of Michael Schenker, what's Michael's most famous guitar solo, you'd probably say Only You Can Rock Me. And I think for Mr. Chapman, I would guess that's the one you would go. Professional Violence, I guess, is the one you would go for. So it might be a lesson on that. There is a guy, there's Adam as well. Hi, Adam. There's a guy who did a cover of it. He didn't do a lesson, I don't think. Maybe he slowed it down, but he played it no perfect. And it's always a worry. I mean, I do, as well as picking stuff which I know that I'm trying to pick stuff that other people haven't done. And if I had to do a really rank version, as we say in Scotland, a really rank version of a song that somebody's done a brilliant version of, doesn't really look very good. So I'll get practicing. I can't remember what other Chapman stuff I need. I was going to do more Wasted stuff. I loved Wasted. It's funny because Adam and Francis have showed up. Hang on for another 5 minutes. In the space of about a year, we saw Wasted with 3 different guitar players, because they toured with Dio and Ronnie Cafield was on guitar. I have to say, like, on the album Vices, Ronnie Cafield's playing is spectacular. I've no idea what he's doing at times. Big with the trem bar and tapping, and incredible. Lonnie Cafield is an incredible guitar player. But live, they were just touring as a four-piece. There was no rhythm guitar, there was no keyboards. And it kind of fell flat a bit. They really needed the backing of a second guitar player or keyboards. And then the next time we saw them in Scotland. They did 2 gigs. Japanese guitar player called Char. No. Wasted did 2 gigs with, what's his name? Neil Shepherd. Neil Shepherd on guitar. He played on the mini album. And I think he did a gig in London, and he did a gig in Scotland at the Scottish Rock and Pop Festival, Calderglen. And it was Neil Shepherd playing guitar. He was a good guitar player, but again, it was like, you could do with a rhythm guitarist. And then about 2 weeks later, we went to see them supporting Maiden, Wasted and Iron Maiden. And they start with, I'm High Up on Highway number 19, Won't Get Alive. And who came walking out from behind the curtain? Paul Chapman. Paul Chapman came walking out from behind the curtain playing his Black Les Paul Custom. And the whole place just erupted. It was like, whoa. And it was Paul Chapman, Andy Parker, and Pete Way. It was like the UFO were back together, but they had Finn singing. Brilliant, incredible. So we saw Wasted with 3 guitar players. It must have been over about a year and a half or something like that, maybe a year and a half. So it was good. So Paul Chapman stuff. I'm probably going to do some Wasted, the Good, the Bad, and the Wasted, which is incredible album. Absolutely love that. It was just rock and roll. It was just what I needed to hear at that point. But it was like 85, that came out 85, 86. Save Your Prayers, the one after that. It's good. It's got good songs, but it kind of lost that British hard edge. And when kind of American, it's good. Like I did a lesson for Walls Fall Down. So there's good songs. There's good songs on them. Save Your Prayers, but it's not a patch on Vices, which is a great album, or The Good, the Bad, and the Wasted. So there we go. So my coffee's getting cold, folks. I 100% appreciate you taking the time out of your day when there's so many things going on in the world at the moment in time. Thank you very much. I will be back with my videos during the week. I think I've done a video or I'm almost finished a video for this. I would say buy one of these. I mean, if you don't have a Marshall and you want to have a Marshall in small format, I mean, it's not an amplifier, just a preamp pedal, but brilliant. The sound of Eddie Van Halen. Unfortunately, I don't have the hands of Eddie Van Halen. I don't play anything like him, but it's good. So, any more Sensational Alex Harvey Band tunes? Probably the difficulty with the Sensational Alex Harvey Band is there's so many other things going on. Like when I did Faith Healer. Like there's a real distinct guitar riff in that. But there's a lot of stuff like Swamp Snake. I was going to do Swamp Snake. But there's not. There's other things going on, there's keys and there's horns and a lot of the Sensational Alex Harvey stuff. And it's difficult to try and tie it down to just doing it where there's like a guitar track that really sticks out on its own, because there were some of their parts, the Sensational Alex Harvey Band, everybody was such a good musician that there's so much stuff going on. It's kind of difficult to find a tune like Action Strasser or something like that, which is good. But I think there's only really one guitar riff in some of the songs, because the song's being carried by the whole band. You're not going to see it. The song's being carried by the whole band. So for me, it's about finding the right song that is going to be interesting for people. Because if I'm just doing like a Sensational Alex Harvey cover and there's one guitar riff being played for 5 minutes, then it's not the most exciting video for people to watch. So I need to be, I need to think about what songs I'm going to do that are going to be it's going to be worthwhile doing for people watching. I mean, if there's a song like I'm saying Action Strass, I can't really remember how many riffs are in that, but if I found maybe 5 Sensational Alex Harvey songs which are kind of built just on one main riff, or maybe 2 riffs, one for the chorus, then I'd be as well just doing like a guitar lesson, just picking 5 Sensational Alex Harvey songs that are built around a couple of riffs, just doing a 10 or 15 minute video rather than trying to find a song to cover which wouldn't be that interesting, if that makes sense. I do hope so. Anyway, folks, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's 16:41 here in Edinburgh, and I'm going to get my tea. I think my wife's made my tea. That's what you say in Scotland. You don't say you're getting your dinner. You say you're getting your tea. Your tea is your sort of later afternoon meal. I might start another channel where I just have Scottish phrases and just try and explain things. What have I explained today? Tube. If you say somebody's a tube, it means they're a bit of an idiot. And then I'm going to get my tea, which means I'm actually going to eat something. I'm not going to drink tea. Anyway, on that note, folks, just for now, it's a privilege and a pleasure as ever. Thank you very much for the chat and everything. I will be back at some point. I will make a video next weekend when I'm in Italy, and you will be able to see. I thought the Hellions got his tea as well. Yes, I'll be making a video when I'm in Italy. I'll try and capture as much of the stress involved of leaving the UK 5 hours before I'm meant to be on stage in Italy, and we'll see how that pans out. I mean, fingers crossed. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, I think the venue's open till 5 a.m. So I mean, we could even get there at 3 a.m. and I'll still be able to do the gig. Just for now, folks. Catch you all later.